Renowned New Jersey sports artist James Fiorentino just took part in the Philly Baseball Cards and Sports Memorabilia Show to showcase his work, and he joins me now to talk all about it. James, welcome back, and thanks for coming on this morning.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. So first off, talk to me about the show and how you got involved, because I know you've been doing this for a few years now.
Yeah, it's actually interesting, and it's a New Jersey connection here. So the show's actually been around since the '70s. So I think possibly the oldest trading card baseball card show in the country, still going. And you get a lot of obviously Philadelphia fans, but a lot of people from New Jersey have been going for many years. Ironically, the owner Joe Drellick, I met when I was actually in high school, and he's got a pretty cool story where he was basically at the town next to me and ended up buying the baseball card store in high school that I used to go into right around when I was really starting first, some of my bigger sports art projects. And Joe owns the show now. So it's a pretty cool thing all these years later for us reconnecting and being able to show up to, meet a lot of fans and showcase the book and the artwork. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
It's a great reconnection. Now, the highlight for you personally was the unveiling of your new book, The Art of Baseball Watercolors of James Fiorentino. What inspired you to put together a book like this, and how much work went into it, dare I ask?
So, yeah, that's a great question. So I guess the interesting answer would be 30 years, 30 years of doing this, really. So a lot of people, when they were looking through the book and they, see me with Mantle and Williams and DiMaggio, they can't believe it and certainly think I'm much older than I am. So yeah, I mean, I worked on the book for 2 years. I really thought that when I'm doing so many interviews and I have all these amazing stories going back to those players and on the field with Yankees and really a lot of the legendary guys, though, at a very young age, I thought it'd be really cool to put those paintings in a book with stories. There's just a lot of amazing stories I feel like I have that go well beyond anyone, painting sports. And it's sort of a tribute to my parents and my family and everything that's happened over the last 30 years, all really great positive things. So I'm sort of excited to get the story out to people who don't know it, and then obviously the people who've known me for many years.
Now, other than the book, what were some of your other pieces that were on display?
Yeah, I have a really cool collection. There's only one where I'm recreating the greatest trading cards of all time at a large scale. You can see the Babe Ruth behind me as an example. Really fun project. And, I've worked on a lot of cards for Topps and Upper Deck over the years. I think the painting that the people probably gravitated towards the most was actually a piece I did over 20 years ago, probably like in my mid-20s. That piece at the time was basically the greatest winners, which was like Montana and Jeter and Ali and Michael Jordan and Tiger at the time. And the coolest thing was I had the opportunity to have Jordan sign it, Muhammad Ali, and a few of the other guys. So I think a lot of collectors were pretty excited about seeing those guys autographing that original. So I feel like that got a lot of buzz at the show from fans.
So basically all the guys that appeared on Wheaties boxes over the years.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously things have changed over the years, but these guys, having the opportunity to be around them and obviously sign original art is very cool. And to look back now, even for me to think back, I can't believe I did that like almost 24 years ago. I mean, that even for me is kind of the cool thing about it.
And it's a great accomplishment. Now, I know one of the highlights of the show was that they had giveaways. Can you talk about what some of those giveaways were and how the fans were able to receive them?
Yeah, so some people were receiving my book. I was doing a sketchbook. Sometimes in the book, I'll actually do which people really loved, an original sketch. And so while I was there, I was doing some sketches of players so people could see me basically drawing, live there. And then the show in itself does a lot of incredible things, some of which will include my artwork, where I'll donate art that raises money for local charities. It's just a wonderful event. I mean, for me, it's like one of those things that you can come out, the whole family can come out, enjoy a show. There's athletes, there's players, you're meeting artists like myself. So, yeah, it's a real good experience.
Now, which of your art pieces did people seem the most drawn to, no pun intended?
Yeah, I think in general, most people can't believe that it's watercolor, all the paintings. I think at a show like that, you do get a lot of people that really get into the baseball card side of it. So I think like the Babe Ruth behind me, a lot of theirs only one project. An Honest Wagner I had there displayed. I think people really, really, can't believe that these cards that are now, as many of you know, have gone up into the millions of dollars. The actual cards. So for them to see an original painting I did at a large scale of the card, it looks so realistic. People get really excited by that.
Now, the event itself has been going on for a while now. How was this year different than in years past?
Yeah, I think the hobby in general in the last 4 years has really exploded. I see a lot more families, a lot younger kids really getting into it, which I love. Um, it's just become a bigger and better show. There were a lot of incredible athletes there. So, I mean, there are big names from, Dr. J and Allen Iverson to baseball Hall of Famers. So I think I love seeing, honestly, though, families coming out, really enjoying it with their parents, meeting other kids that are into the hobby. Again, some of these kids coming up to me, I've had a lot of kids who love to draw. So I think overall, you're seeing the show was packed with people for all 3 days. So that's just a great sign for everything that's going on in it.
Yeah, it shows that you're an inspiration too. Now, I know the show had a lot of sports memorabilia, and I know you're a collector. Was there anything there that caught your eye, obviously, other than your work?
Well, that's the problem. Half the time I don't want to be where at my booth. I want to walk around and spend money. So, yeah, I'm a vintage guy. As a kid growing up, I collected baseball cards, trading cards, and loved it. But I'm more into the vintage stuff. I think the fact that I had been around the guys like Yogi and DiMaggio and Mantle and Williams and Musial, I gravitate towards that. When I see the cards from the 40s and the 50s and a lot of these cards that were painted also, and I was actually lucky enough, actually, it was another New Jersey artist who painted some of the original 53 Topps cards. He was a Shore guy. And so when I see a lot of that, that's very personal to me, and that's what I like to collect. So yeah, it's a bad problem because there's too many things I want there.
It's tough, but you're sharing your passion. James Fiorentino, thanks so much, and have a great holiday, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.